Here is part 3 of the 2005 Florida 500. This video will be covering the starting grid. But before we get to that, let's go over some things that happened in practice. Unfortunately, Sammy Smelter had a career-ending crash in practice for the 2005 Florida 500, as mentioned at the end of the last part. And this is also why Gerald Lightfoot has changed his number from 95 to 01. And Team Rusty's brought in Lightning McQueen to star the 95 for the 2005 season. Sammy Smelter will be missed. To make matters worse, rookie Sage Vanderspin got sick before practice, so he'll be out for the first 2 races of his rookie year. I feel bad. And Austin Hicks caused a very huge crash in practice that got a lot of racers. One of these racers was Winford Bradford Rutherford, who missed the first 5 races because of this crash. And, as punishment, Austin Hicks will be suspended for the same amount of races. And Riley, being a backup racer for Team RPM, will replace Winford Bradford Rutherford for the first 5 races of this season. Now, onto the starting grid. I will start at pole position with rookie Lightning McQueen to my outside. Right behind us in row 2 are the King in his final Florida 500 and Chick Hicks, who many hope doesn't win the race. Row 3 has 2 more rookies, Lucas 95 and Sonic ONT. Row 4 has the other Sonic EXE, right behind OMT, and to his inside is Dale Carr, a 2-time winner of the Florida 500. Row 5 has another 2-time winner of the Florida 500, being Michael Cartrip and Tony Gassworth, who's never won the Florida 500 before. Row 6 has Ryan Newcar, or the Rocket, as some people call him, and surprisingly, Martin Karps Jr., a car that others underestimated. Row 7 has Ricky Sludd, who is 20 numbers higher than Martin Karps Jr., and Jeff Burnton, who is 30 numbers higher than Martin Karps Jr. Row 8 has the Rush Racing teammates of Kurt Busch-Tire and Matt Karzith. Both will be racing their first race with their new looks. Row 9 has Jeff Gorvette, who will also be racing his first race with his new look today, and Scott Windows, who qualified further up the pack than I anticipated. Row 10 has the Chip Carnassi Racing teammates of Jamie McCarry and Sterling Carlin. Row 11 has rookie Kyle Busch-Tire and Bobby Carboni, the younger brother of the racer Kyle replaced in the number 5. Row 12 has Kyle Traxon, who has the biggest number out of any car this race, and last season's champion, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Row 13 has Greg Candyman, who qualified a bit further back than I expected. Same with Ruby Nightcard, who was outside, who was recovering from a season-ending crash last season. Row 14 has Greg Beeple, who also was a bit slow in practice, and Jeremy Carfield to his outside. Row 15 has Travis Strathville with his first race in the 77, and Hall Lingus, a past Piston Cup champion, to his outside. Row 16 has Kevin Karvik, and the target car, Casey Gears. Row 17 has Carl Edwards, another rookie, and Brian Vickers, a rookie from last season, to his outside. Row 18 has Ken Schrader racing in his first race for Team Valvoline, and the former Valvoline racer, Mark Carton, who is outside. Row 19 has Eugene Karbareski right behind his rival, Ken Schrader, and Joe Brakecheck, to his outside. Row 20 has Ernie Gearson and Rusty Wheelhouse, who will also be racing in his final Florida 500. Row 21 has Casey Gears, a rookie from last season, and Dave Laney, who will be making his first start in the 07. Row 22 has Elliot Drafter and Krusty Roeder, who are back here because of Austin Hicks' crash. Same with the 2 cars that will be starting right behind them in row 23, those being Murray Clutchburn and Billy Oilchanger. Same with the 2 cars behind them, Pancake Shiftright Racing teammates of Chuck Armstrong and Kevin Shiftright. And finally, starting in the last row of the field is Slider Petrolski, and surprisingly, Bill Rayslot was running another part-time schedule this season. But he did manage to beat These 25 cars failed to qualify this race, alongside some others. Riley Nathanson qualified 53rd, unable to qualify for the first race to fill in for Winford Bradford Rutherford. Joel McQueen is in 51st, right ahead of Lee Revkins. Wendy is also in 57th. And Kerry Earnhardt is almost about 50 positions behind his teammate Martin Carx Jr. And unfortunately, Gerald Leadfoot couldn't qualify for one more Florida 500. Neither could James Cleanair, who is the next car on this chart that you would see after Mac Icar, who qualified 70th